Questions?
Yeah, so recently I was again contemplating on who am I, and I saw this video about like split brain surgery. So we're
Mm-hmm.
like doctors to split brain surgery, and then they will like show an object to the right brain,
Mm-hmm.
basically from the left side, and then when they will ask the person to write down or like name the thing they saw, they were not able to name it or write down. So it's like they saw something, but they're not consciously aware of that thing.
Agnosia. Well, they were
So
aware of it. They just didn't know what it was.
so I was thinking that it felt that the left brain is kind of thing that kind of tells people consciously like what they saw, what they heard, like those kind of things. It's basically that kind of center to make people aware of things that are going on.
That's an oversimplification, but yeah, there's hemispheric specialization and dominance. But you're oversimplifying a bit. But go ahead. What's the question?
Yeah, so yeah, so this thing of awareness that I usually talk about, which is the awareness of I, like the existing feeling of
Mm-hmm.
I. So so maybe that is also just like if my left brain was not there, then I would not have maybe felt that I too, that feeling of existing.
No, that's not true.
Okay. So what I thought that
So
even the
many of
feeling.
these, there have been many experiments, and there's many papers written about these things, about the right and left hemispheric dominance and specialization and so forth. And they've even taken out hemispheres, or they've cut the corpus callosum, or the angular, or the anterior cingulate, and you get all kinds of different results. But the the sense of I exist remains.
Okay.
If it's not on one side, it's on the other.
Okay. So like so sometimes I get two kind of sense, not sensation, but like sense, which is sometimes it's more intuitive, like very subtle, and sometimes it's very concrete, and I can almost like feel it. And I thought that maybe it's just each hemisphere doing its own thing.
No, it's not lateralized. One hemisphere or the other hemisphere will have that experience.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
Remember, Descartes thought that it was in the pineal gland, and we have not been
Hmm.
able to find the place per se. I mean, we can make
Hmm.
people unconscious. We can make them more and more stuporous, and they're not aware of anything,
Hmm.
including their own
Hmm.
existence, and that happens to you every night. But to the
Hmm.
extent that there is a sense of being at all, that will persist on one side or the other. Now, I don't know what you mean. So between the subtle and the, why don't you say more about that?
So sometimes when I am like contemplating on the eye, or even doing that practice of turning the light around,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling that I get of like space or like of human eye is so subtle that I can't even feel it. Like I can't even feel it as a concrete thing. But sometimes I can feel it like space, like how I can feel space around me, kind of very concrete kind of feeling.
I read something. I
Which,
read a Zen exposition on something like this recently. Can you take space and rub it between your hands? Go ahead and try it. Rub space between your hands.
no, the moment I start rubbing, then it just feels I'm touching one hand with the other,
There you
and
go. So it's like that.
okay. Mm.
It's difficult because we tend to objectify everything. We make everything
Mm.
into a noun, or we make everything into an object, including the sense of I,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. And sometimes when it get very subtle, it makes me wonder what if it would get even more subtle, and then there's no even I feeling.
Well, now you're getting closer, because when the I drops out, see, there's still a person viewing things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, see, that person is extra.
Mm-hmm.
The you is extra. You don't need that concept, that construct.
So even in the case when there is no I, still an experience is happening, and something is experiencing those things.
You could say that, or you could say experience is happening.
So an experience is happening,
What if you made the
but that
experience
experience,
primary and the person you're calling I secondary?
yeah. So like even in that, so in that scenario, when experience is primary and the experiencer is secondary,
Okay.
still that experience is playing out on something, and something is able to observe and record that in memory.
The thing that's recorded in memory is in the opposite direction. But you're right. You're right. The brain will record some things, not very much, but it records some things.
So, so then, won't just the act of observation and recording will bring out the experiencer?
Yes, to some extent.
And as long as that sense of experiencer is there, the I will not go away.
It doesn't go away. Like, yeah, well, go away. That's a weird, strange way of putting it. See, I am the tree and the breeze and the leaves that are moving in the wind. There's also this words coming out of this object here, which is, I guess you'd say, me too. But I'm the window and the grass on the other side. Yeah. So I rephrase your question.
So since you can see the trees, you can see the windows, still it's
I didn't say
something
I
that
could
is
see
seeing.
them. I said I was them. I am them.
So so even that knowing that you are them, still something knows that that is the case.
If you press the issue, yeah, I suppose.
So does that mean that I will be present to small extent? It will not
I think
completely
if you if
go.
you know you can try and tear this apart with your intellect, and what it's not going to do, it's not going to get you anywhere. I mean, to the extent that I have to discuss this intellectually, yeah, there must be some center that's working intellectually with you right now, right?
Hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily imply an I. It's kind of automatic by now, frankly. I don't even have to be here for that. I'm not particularly here for that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I think talking anything more about it will still be just an exercise on in
Well,
intellectuality.
it's it's like Zeno's paradox or something like that. You can the way it seems is not the way necessarily it is.
Hmm.
And in a dream, we having this conversation in a dream? Let's say you're dreaming a character walking down the street. but you're aware that you're dreaming. Yeah, okay, so now you're lucid dreaming instead of dreaming. If you're the character. If you're not the character, so to what extent are you the character or not the character? You could do that forever, right?
Okay.
So I mean, it's good to do these intellectual exercises. I think it's important, for someone like you to satisfy yourself, because there's nothing here that defies true logic, right? But then you have to go all the way, and you have to understand some science. If you're going to go that way, you need some science, and you need some psychology, and you need, the sense of I. I mean, there's many colors of that. As many colors as there are colors in a tree and autumn. And if you're going to go and pick each leaf, you can do that, but it's not, the yield is small compared to just letting go.
Okay. Yeah.
See, you've drawn a boundary between yourself and the room in which you're sitting, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is that boundary? Where is the room?
I mean, so since we did that exercise a few weeks ago where I kind of expanded my mind, and then things are also, so the surrounding is also in my mind.
Of course. Where else could it be? Tell me where else what you see could be besides in your mind. Where else could it be? Now use your best science, your best reason, your best logic.
So after that, it's
after
hard
what?
to
No, tell me where it is first. Where is it?
So after that,
hold the pencil in front of you like this. Hold the pencil in front of you like this.
Okay. Okay, let me just hold this in front of me like this.
All right. Now visually, you see that, correct?
Yeah.
Where is that visual image?
That visual image is being formed in the brain.
Okay, now look at your hand. Put that down. Look at your hand. Is that hand connected to your other hand?
Through the body.
No. I don't mean intellectually. I mean, is it connected in reality?
It doesn't feel like that.
It's not. You have to connect them. So how are you aware of that hand?
Because I can feel the sensations from the hand. And
Where do you feel the sensations? Where do you feel the sensations?
So the sensation I feel are actually outside, like in this area.
That's what you think. Have you ever heard of phantom limb?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens with a phantom limb?
So basically someone who gets amputated, then even after amputation, they feel that they still have the limb. They feel the sensations of the limb.
Right, but the sensations have to be in the brain.
Yeah, they are being...
And the representation is in the brain.
Yeah.
Okay. So then where is it really? The whole thing is in the mind. The whole thing is in the mind. Where else could it be? You tell me, where else could it be? See this? Where does it exist as far as your body is concerned?
This is outside my body.
Where outside your body?
I mean, on the screen through which I'm talking.
So you think it exists in pixels outside your body?
I mean, I'm getting
follow the pixels. Where do the pixels show up? On your screen, right?
Yeah, on my screen.
All right. Now follow the pixels back. Now, how do you know that they're there? Because if we turned off the lights, you wouldn't see anything there, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, so how do you know that they're there? You see
But
them,
then turning off
correct?
the light.
Okay, turn
Yeah,
back on the lights. You see them, correct?
yeah.
But where do you see them?
I see them. I mean, the image is being formed in the brain, but then the object
Right.
is in front of me.
Okay, if you say so. It's in front of you because you've drawn a boundary to yourself and to your mind. So where is that boundary then? You've drawn a boundary to your mind. Tell me where it is.
So if I go by experience, since those last couple of weeks, I am not able to define a boundary anymore because everything feels
You
within
just did
the.
it. You just said your mind stopped at the computer screen.
Oh, because you were asking where do you see it, so I
Okay.
was
Well,
like, yeah,
forget what I'm asking you. Where does your mind stop in your room?
right now it doesn't stop anywhere. It
Okay.
extends.
Good. 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 So when we say your mind, we mean your mind and everything in it.
Hmm.
And me talking right now is in your mind. Where else could it be?
That's how it feels.
Okay. Well, you tell me where it is exactly. Where are you located in space? Really?
So right now, because everything kind of feels within the mind, and there's a center through which everything is being
I didn't
kind
ask where the
of
center
seen.
was. I asked where you were located in space.
It's like if I am playing a VR game and I can
No, I'm
sense
not talking about
everything
VR
or
game. I'm talking about you right now. Where are you located in space?
in the center
Of what?
of of the experience, whatever I'm
No, that
experiencing or
doesn't tell me
seeing,
with space. Give me some coordinates.
coordinates. I mean, in this chair,
Okay, where's that chair located?
that chair is located in the room.
Okay, where's the room located?
I mean, in this area,
And
in
where's
this
that area
building,
located?
in this city,
Okay, where's that city
in the
located?
U.S. In the U.S.
And where's the U.S. located?
I mean, in the world, like on Earth,
Okay, and where's the Earth located?
in the galaxy, in the
Okay,
Milky
where's the
Way, in the
galaxy
universe,
located?
in the
And
universe.
where's the universe located?
So that I don't know. It's
It's not
expanding. So
located
I don't.
anywhere. There's no you can't say where it is because that would just be a relative statement.
Mhm.
Does the universe have a perimeter?
It's I mean, kind of from what I know, no, it's expanding.
Right, it doesn't have a perimeter. Does it have a center?
No,
Okay, so it has no
yeah.
center, it has no perimeter, and you can't say where it is. So we can't say anything about where you're located in space. Okay? We just don't know. That's fine.
Yeah, we
We
don't know.
don't know. Now, how about in time? Where are you in time?
In time also, I mean, I can tell the time right now, which is 10:05, but time is
Yeah, well, it's not
passing, keeps
10:05,
passing.
in Greenland or in Sri Lanka or in Beijing.
Yeah,
So what can we say about the absolute time?
absolute time. Again, I don't know.
We can't say anything. We
Absolute.
don't know. So you don't know where you are in time or space. And you don't
Yeah,
know the boundaries of your mind.
yeah.
Okay, good. Just sit with
I
that
mean,
for a
boundaries
while.
of.
Sit with that for a while.
Mhm.
The reality is you don't know where you're located in space or time. And you don't know the boundaries of your mind either. You just pretend to know them because out of convention or habit.
Mhm.
And to set your consciousness free, you have to let go of some of these things. It's okay.
Mhm.
It won't hurt you.
Mhm.
It'll set you free.
Mhm.
All right. So just don't pretend to know if you don't know. That's the deal. If you don't know the boundaries to your mind, don't pretend that you know. If you don't know where you're located in space, don't pretend to know. And if you don't know where you're located in time, don't pretend to know. That's all. Just stop pretending. Right? Okay, good. Follow up?
Yeah, not on that. I think I need to sit with it and
Yes,
contemplate
yes,
more.
absolutely. So that's a good contemplation, right? And that's a flower ornament contemplation, by the way. The flower ornament will help you with all of this. Let me show it to folks. This text right here is full of contemplations exactly like that. And it makes it easier for you. It's a very modern text, even though it's second century. Okay.
Yeah, next question is about another contemplation I was doing, which was why am I afraid of death? And as I was thinking about it, I did some exercise, which was first I just thought about it and sensed how much fear I sense or experience, and then as I went into the reason why I want me to survive, why I want to continue surviving, I wasn't able to come up with a logical reasoning, and after that, as I continued thinking about death, the fear got less and less because there was no reason to continue surviving other than maybe wanting to have more pleasure, but not real, like not a logical reason having
Good.
of wanting to
That's
continue.
that's progress. Good. Will the universe
One
that
of
you're experiencing now exist after your body's gone?
Yeah,
It
it
will?
seems so.
Oh, really? How so?
I mean, not my experience, but there are other people who will continue to live after I'm gone.
Are you sure?
I mean, not. I
Okay,
mean,
just don't
I,
pretend to know things that you don't know. That's all. Just don't pretend. I'm not saying one way or the other, but this is good. That's progress, right? But just stop pretending to know things that you don't. That's all. And again, the flower ornament will help you a lot with this.
Mhm.
Now, there's certain fears that just come from being an animal, right? You're in an animal body.
Mhm. Yeah.
And animals, they fear death.
Mhm. Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if they fear death. Actually, they avoid it as much as possible, but they don't
Mhm.
ruminate about it the way humans do. They don't have the same minds that we do.
Mhm.
But fear of death is like dying a million times before you actually die. If you think of
Mhm.
all the times you've been afraid of death, for those people that ruminate about dying and death or whatever, it's the amount of time spent in fearful, anticipation or speculation or fantasies or what can go wrong, etc. It makes, I mean, compared to the actual dying, is actually probably trivial.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
good though. That's good. That's progress, I'd say.
I think I have one follow up on that. So one of the predominant thought that came up that reduced the fear was this idea that I have had my it feels like I have had my peak life experience in the past, so there's not much to look forward to.
That's not true at
So
all.
with that,
That's not true. What kind of thing is that to say to yourself?
I mean, so whatever I'm experiencing is on the similar scale to what I experienced in the past in terms of in terms of peak
And so you're going
experience.
to, so by inference, you're going to decide on the future from that.
No, I was just looking into the reason why I wanna continue living, and it feels like nothing.
Well, to not be afraid of death is not the same thing as not to want to continue living. My God. Is that what you're saying?
No, no. I was just like looking into what is the thing that is holding on to life so dearly, and
It's the animal body. But your mind
yeah.
ruminates and obsesses over it, like many people's do.
Hmm.
And all you do is suffer.
Hmm. Hmm.
You die 1,000 times before dying.
Hmm.
So keep going, though. You're not going to get anywhere by repressing it, but keep going and keep contemplating death.
Hmm.
It's very important. And also, yeah, humans need to contemplate death. I mean, if they're on the path to understanding what the situation is,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, I think for me, an ideal balance seems to be coming where I'm not worried about death and I continue living and we just see what happens, kind of thing.
Okay, for now, that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'll continue thinking about that.
Do you know when you'll die?
No, I mean, I don't have a date or a time for
Right,
that.
that's not given to us. So we don't know where we are. We don't know when we are. We don't know what we are. We know we will die, but we don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, I think next one is from the Avatakam Sutra,
Oh, good.
page
Page what?
page 186, and the paragraph at the bottom, which is explaining the basis of worlds.
The verse or the text?
The text.
Do you want to read it slowly?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. This is page
Then the
176, the formation of the worlds. What book is this? This is book 2.
formation of the worlds is book 4.
Book 4 of the Flower Ornament Sutra. Okay.
So it
And
says,
universally good is the translation of Samantha Babra's name. All right? Okay, go ahead.
yeah, it says, then the enlightening being, universally good, said to the congregation, O children of Buddha, each of the oceans of worlds has bases of support as numerous as atoms in an ocean of worlds. That is to say, they may rest on all adornments, or in space, or on the lights of all jewels, or on the lights of all Buddhas, or on the lights of the colors of all jewels, or on the voices of all Buddhas, or on illusory actions, or on thunderbolt bearers in the form of powerful titans, or on the bodies of all the leaders of the worlds, or on the bodies of all enlightening beings, or on the ocean of all different embellishments produced by the power of the vows of the universally good enlightening beings. The oceans of worlds have such bases as these, as many as atoms in an ocean of worlds. Then, in order to reiterate the meaning of this, universally good receiving the power of the Buddha, surveyed the 10 directions and said in verse, all the various lands there are, filling space in the 10 directions, sustained by the Buddha's mystic power, appear in all places so all can see. There are some varieties of lands, all made of undefiled jewels, pure gems, most exquisite, radiating everywhere oceans of light. Then there are lands of pure light, which rest in the realm of space. Some are in oceans of jewels, some rest in mines of light. Buddha, in the midst of this ocean of groups, expounds teachings, all skillful and subtle. The realm of the Buddhas is boundlessly vast. beings who see it are gladdened at heart. Some are embellished with precious stones, shaped like flower lamps in vast arrays. They are clouds of fragrant flame light blazing with color, covered with webs of jewel lights.
Okay, thank you. Very nice. What's the question?
Yeah, so I think here they are trying to explain that the basis of worlds is from all these possibilities.
There's an ocean of worlds resting on the lights of the colors of all jewels. Resting on the lights of the colors of all jewels.
Mhm.
All right, go ahead. What's the question?
So like a lot of it, I can't like really make sense, but some of it makes sense, which is like anything that is happening in the world, it kind of creates a new basis for the world. So like so talking about everything rests on the sea of jewels. Uh, that is something that I can't comprehend. But then
Just
the
visualize it.
things
Just
rest.
visualize it. Imagine an
Yeah,
ocean
I
of
can.
worlds.
Yeah,
Have you seen the ocean?
yeah, I have seen the ocean. Yeah.
Imagine that every drop in the ocean is a world.
Hmm.
A world.
Hmm.
So imagine an ocean of worlds.
Hmm.
And these worlds rest on the light of pure gems. Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
visualization. It's a sutra, you know.
I mean, I can visualize, but it doesn't make sense to visual.
Not yet, because your mind is too small. But the sutra will open your mind and make it much bigger. Can you move over this way a bit? Great, thank you. So the sutra will make your mind much bigger to where then, so like before you said you didn't know where you were, you didn't know when you were. And so the sutra will help you with that. But right, see the whole point, the sutra is a mind expanding psychoactive tool that works.
Hmm. Hmm.
And especially in the modern days and these days. And so it's difficult at first, but soon you will be quite comfortable with these notions, which are
Hmm.
probably closer to our scientific notions at the moment, right?
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
now they're not even sure how many universes there are, right? David Deutsch, the multiverse, or other people saying parallel worlds and all this other stuff. This was all talked about in the second century.
Hmm.
But see, so how big is the universe really?
I mean, I don't have an answer for that
Okay,
because,
let's say you
yeah.
dream a world. Let's say you dream you're on the planet Earth and you get on a boat and you sail from San Francisco to Tokyo, to
Mm-hmm.
Japan on that boat. All right, let's say it's a long
Mm-hmm.
dream. How big is that world that you dreamt?
I mean, it's just imagination. I can't place a number on that.
It's just a dream.
Mm-hmm.
It has no size. It's made of light.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this universe. It's made of light.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like it's light because we're lost in the dream. We're asleep and dreaming. But when you wake up, you'll see that the world is made of light. Just light. The light of consciousness. And that's what you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are the world. You are the children. No, I'm joking. But basically, you are dreaming this world.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I shouldn't say dreaming because that implies a brain, you know, and a body. It's something more marvelous than that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir? But
Yeah.
the size, see, size doesn't mean anything. And this
Mm-hmm.
sutra will explain to you how that can be.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the next thing I wanted to ask is on page
Well, let me
195.
ask you, how much time
Like,
can we fit into a thimble? You know what a thimble is?
I think I forgot. Let
It's a
me
little
just
metal
look
thing
for.
that you put on your thumb to push needles with.
Okay. Metal plastic.
Or
Yeah.
a teaspoon. How much time can we fit into a teaspoon?
I yeah yeah. It's like something that brain stops computing on those kind of questions.
Right, and yeah, that's right. And space time, finally, the scientists are coming to realize that space time is not fundamental. It's emergent from human minds. And so the whole
Mm-hmm.
science, the science based on observers, is what's coming up next. It's really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in quantum mechanics, they were saying, "Oh my gosh, the observer has some effect on the outcome of the experiment."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sure does, or she sure does.
Mm-hmm.
The observer is entangled with the experiment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I remember in the double slit experiment, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So we can't disentangle the observer from the observed. Is my point,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a good reason for that. Now we can make models, beautiful models, and beautiful models are being made by people like Carl Friston, especially the free energy
Mm-hmm.
principle, where you have some bound. You have to have a bound for something to exist. There has to be a boundary
Mm-hmm.
between it and what's else is out there, between it and the environment. Otherwise, they're one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, thinking conceptually about what that boundary must include
Mm-hmm.
for the thing to could persist existing,
Mm-hmm.
and the environment is part of that. But we'll get into those kinds of things later. Carl Friston,
Mm-hmm.
the free energy principle. All right. Okay. So keep going. The flower ornament will prepare
Yeah.
you for this.
So the next one is from page 195. Here they go into the manifestation of the worlds.
Okay. Good.
The text.
All right. Read the text, please, slowly and carefully. Then Samantha
Uh,
Barbara addressed the masses again.
yeah, there it says, then universally good address the masses again. Buddha children, know that in each ocean of worlds, there are differences in the manifestation of the Buddhas, as many as atomic particles in an ocean of worlds. That is, some manifest small bodies, some large bodies, some manifest short lives, some long lives, some only adorn and purify a single Buddha land, some adorn and purify innumerable Buddha lands, some only reveal one vehicle of teaching, some reveal inconceivably many vehicles of teaching, some appear to tame a few sentient beings, some tame boundless sentient beings. Such differences as these are as many as atomic particles in an ocean of worlds.
Yeah. There's different Buddhas in the world. You don't know this yet, but you are Buddha. Scoot over a bit. So what's the question?
Yeah, so when I read that, intellectually it felt that they are saying that however many sentient beings are, there are those many worlds because each one has their own world, kind of.
Well, I think it's referring to Buddhists here, but let's go to your point. Yeah, why would that not be true? There are
I mean,
things
I
in
can
your
see
world
that
that no one knows of at all, besides you. Correct?
there are things in my world that no one knows of.
And there are things missing
Not
from your world that aren't missing from other people's worlds.
that that is yeah, that feels like that, yeah.
Okay, so that's your own world. Of course, you live in your own world. Where else could you live?
So experientially, uh, if I say that my world is subjective based on my experiences, then that's true.
Okay, first you're not talking experientially. You're speaking conceptually, and you're speaking. It's an interpretation of the experience. You've interpreted it to say, go ahead, keep going. Let's see, keep going.
So from whatever I am experiencing,
Mm-hmm.
I experience so so some things seem objective, like land or the physical objects I see that everyone else sees also the same object. It's the interpretation or the effect of that on me that is different.
Yeah,
So it seems like
your
there's an
impression of it is different. Your
yeah.
experience of the color red is different than anyone else's experience of the color red if we were going to look at it neurobiologically. Of course.
Yeah. But then that thing that everyone is experiencing differently,
Mm-hmm.
that's still a thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Good.
So objectively,
Yeah.
so objectively, everyone is sharing some like this
Something.
objective world,
Something. Not everybody,
something.
but
Yeah,
most everybody.
yeah.
Okay, so
And
what's
then
your point?
interpretation. So my point was that in this text that I just read,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like they're talking about this
They're talking about
subjective world and
the differences, right?
their differences. Yeah.
All right, so how many differences are there in ways that people perceive the world? For example,
In the way they subjectively perceive it, there are so many like differences as numerous as atoms, I could say,
yeah,
in the world.
or at least as many as there are people on our planet,
Yeah,
at least. But then if we add time to it, then then we get a lot. So
yeah.
what's the
I mean, even
question?
within just
So what's the question? Now you need to think about that. You lead that soak into your marrow. That when you walk to work, everyone's having a different experience than you, and you are having a different experience than them.
mhm,
You experience a different world,
mhm.
and you already said that your world would end when you died, right?
My subjective world will end when I die. Yeah.
Well, you say my subjective, right? But
Hmm.
the my part is imaginary, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And you're just calling it subjective because I don't know what's the difference between subjective and objective. See this here?
Hmm.
Subjective or objective?
Objective, because it's an object that we both are seeing.
What do you see?
I see a pen or
I don't
pencil.
see a pen or a pencil. I see blue and white stripes, but okay. Okay, so you have to work with it and just realize that what you experience, even as pen or
Hmm.
pencil, is different than what I experience.
So if I
What is
go
a
to
pencil
the
used
to even
for?
for writing.
No, it's used for drawing. They're used for drawing, my friend. See, even that. You say it's for
Hmm.
writing, I say it's for drawing.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we experience, I mean, you have to work with it too. I mean, you can't fight, you can fight as much as you want, but eventually, if you go along with trying to understand things more globally, you'll see
Hmm.
that the experience of the world is something. Do you remember the Sufi story of the Mullah Nasruddin's wife? He said, "Oh, they came up to the mullah and said, Mullah, Mullah, I'm sorry, I've got some really bad news for you. Uh, it's the end of the world. Your wife has died." Remember that story?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what's the next part of it?
I think she was dying, and the mullah was. I think he was probably happy about it, something like that.
No, no, no. He wasn't happy about his wife dying.
Sorry, not happy. I mean, it was something else happened, and they said that she is like recovered or something. Like,
You need to find that story again. You really do. So go back and this now go back to the Sufi stories the Sufi jokes, just the joke books,
Mm-hmm.
and read them after having read this, and they'll start to make sense as your mind starts to expand. You got to open up your mind, right? You're pretending things are true that you know that they're true as a fact, but they're not. Like the fact that you don't have any idea where you are. We pretend and we have these conventions. We say, oh, I'm at such and such a place and such a... But that's not the reality. That's not your existential reality or your philosophical or your truth-seeking reality. The truth-seeking reality is we have no idea where we're located in space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that sense of I you're talking about is like grabbing space, rubbing space between your hands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like you might as well capture time with a teacup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just you got to work with it and loosen up a bit, and you'll see. Just it'll get to you. You'll see. You got to. It takes time to do this properly. Now you can go around and say I am, and people do that all the time, and they say they're enlightened, right? Because I am. But that's not what we're after here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we stop?
Yeah, just one more thing. So it seems this. So when I read the sutra, first I read it, read a paragraph, and then I again go through it to basically see what I can grasp from it intellectually. It seems that second part of trying to grasp intellectually, I can just stop doing that. There's no yield coming out from that.
Lighten up on that. You can still reflect on it, but yeah, you can lighten up on that. Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting enough of it. You just let it work with you. Right? It's a sutra. It's not a text. I mean, it's both really, but let the sutra work with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can lighten up a bit. Not too tight, not too loose. But that's a great question. That's a great question. All right, sir?
Okay.
Anything
All
else
right,
before we stop?
No, that was it.
Hasta luego. Take good care.
Thank
Ciao.
you. You too. Bye.